Positively Muskegon, it's Andy O'Reilly, and I am at the Center in their brand new location. You recognize this guy from early on in the blog. Actually, they might not, because you were one of the first guests we ever had on Positively Muskegon. This is Father Bob Teslowitz, or Robert Teslowitz, excuse me.
No problem.
Got the name right this time, though, didn't I? I came in like this West Sider from Grand Rapids, and I said, I know how to say your name, and I was wrong. How's things going up here? You've made the move. You came out of the Heights. You've got your new place up here in the Four Corners in North Muskegon.
Yep.
How's it going?
It's it's taking people a while to get used to the fact that we're here, and it takes people a long time to admit that they need service.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be any embarrassment in that.
No.
We've got tons of programs here for people, and so yeah, come on down.
So, as time has gone on, when I first met you, we got together and we talked a little bit about your LGBT support groups and different things like that. Kids need a place to turn.
Right.
And you've kind of shifted your focus to some newer things as well, especially when it comes to bullying.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the new approach to anti-bullying and suicide prevention.
But the center is still doing its regular programs that we're doing, and now I have this agency called Safe Harbor Christian Ministries.
Okay.
And we work in anti-bullying. We have anti-bullying PowerPoint presentation we'd like to take into churches and schools, civic groups, anybody that will invite us in. And then, of course, with that is the suicide prevention.
Sure.
See, I think what people, I've been at a couple meetings last week with a lot of professional peoples, and when you use the word bullying, people say, people are tired of hearing about that, and they don't like that word. And well, the reality is I don't think people really understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
I just got stats from this guy who goes around the country, and I hope to be able to do that too one of these days. And he says they have documented 55,000 kids in the last 7 years who have committed suicide as a direct result of bullying.
Being bullied.
Now that ends up to be 22 kids a day. 22 kids a day.
Just from being bullied?
Just from being bullied.
Okay. I want to go back.
Okay.
And I want to take you back a little bit. When I was a kid, there was one way to deal with a bully.
Yep.
And, I learned my lesson really young, because I was like in the first grade and I had this 7th grader picking on me. I smashed his glasses for him on the bus. I didn't know better what to do. I hadn't had a talk about how to deal with any of this kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, a couple of pop knots on his head, and it was done. When did it change that was no longer the way to deal with a bully?
Well, I think it got more sophisticated now because of the internet.
Okay.
A large part of bullying is on the internet now.
Is it?
And people get targeted. And, some of the worst offenders are girls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're vicious. Oh, God. I couldn't believe it when because I have so many, kids on my friends list on Facebook.
Sure.
They're constantly sending me invites that say, they call me Uncle Rob from, the Reese Buffer kid. Uncle Rob, you need to go look at this conversation here and see what's going on.
And it goes on all the time.
Brutal.
Really?
Just brutal with each other. Yeah.
And where does that come from? Is it do they feel like since they've got that internet platform that it can't be attributed, or maybe that they've got a bigger platform to stand on? I mean, where does it come from?
Well, and you can do so many things hiding behind a screen name.
Well, yeah.
It's crazy, and a lot of the statistically, a lot of the bullying is happening between classes, in the cafeteria, right after school gets out. People and these kids are always posting videos of fights and what's going on. And, we're still not getting to a point where we can say, you need to look at this, because what you think is funny, when you continue to target some person who can't defend themselves against you.
Sure.
At some point, they're going to break.
Yeah.
And that's why we're seeing so much suicide in kids these days.
Yeah, we had a couple up in Montague just recently. Scary.
Right.
And these were young kids.
Yeah.
What advice do you give to kids that are being bullied and that they're hearing, because like I said, I was in the 1st grade, this kid was in the 7th grade. I busted him right between the eyes. His dad called my dad saying, "Hey, I want you to pay for these glasses." And my dad's like, "Well, what do you mean? Andy's only little." And he goes, "How little?" The other kid's dad. He said he's in the 1st grade. "Sorry to bother you, sir." And then that kid got it again. What do you tell these kids that are being bullied?
I think sometimes kids need to understand exactly what bullying is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the little, hey, you know, that's a nice shirt. Your wife lets you wear that.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
That kind of stuff. I mean, we're beyond. You know, we're not
picking on my shirt.
No, it's a lovely shirt. We're beyond the the little bullying.
Yeah, the little stuff,
joking stuff. But there are people who are actually targeted. You know, and that's one of the thing. And there's basically two types of bullies.
Yeah.
You know, there's the very popular kids who have their clique that they hang around with, and they look at people who are less fortunate, smaller, and they pick on them.
Yeah.
And depending on how the kid reacts, you know, they think it's a gold mine where they can just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And then the other type of bully is actually a kid who's been bullied himself.
Sure.
So he's looking to pass that on.
Yeah.
To somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, it's like your boss hollers at you, you holler at the wife, and the wife kicks the dog.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You know, it's really a serious thing. And when people just get in their minds that, you know, we're tired of hearing about this. You can't be tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
We need to do something. And I think things are going to turn around, and people just can't put it all on schools either.
No.
Saying it's the school's responsibility to do all of this because, you know, they don't have time.
You know what it is? It's parents' responsibility.
It is.
And to be honest with you, it like just like happened when I was a kid. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call that other parent and say, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Exactly.
Because they probably don't know.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be reported. It has to be reported. And I think things are going to start turning around when parents do that, when they actually call the police and press charges against somebody who's doing this to their child. Then we're going to see a turnaround in what's going on. But, you know, parents are not, I guess they don't like getting involved in that.
Nobody wants to get involved. No, I mean, people don't even stand in their driveway and talk to each other anymore.
No, they don't. And it's so frustrating because probably in the last month, every time that there's been a suicide or a major bullying thing, my inbox gets blown up from people. We need you at our school, and we need you to do this and this and this. And I said, I'm all set to come. Just get me in the door.
Right.
I never hear from him again.
Never hear from him again. That's it. But you'll come.
Absolutely.
Just like that.
I'm ready to go.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ready to go.
Back to the question though. Let's say I'm the kid getting bullied. Mm-hmm. I come to you, and I say, "This is happening. Give me some advice. What's the first thing you tell me?"
If you're getting bullied, I need to know what's going on. What type of bullying is there?
Okay.
You know, is it just somebody picking on you? And
no, there's this kid on the football team, and he's really big, and he's really huge, and he hates the fact that I got zits, and he doesn't think that I should be in school because my clothes aren't cool enough, and you know he picks on me for my girlfriend and all that. What's the first step?
Well, the first step is just try to ignore it. Yeah. Just, you know, don't even give anybody the time of day. If somebody says that and say, yeah, you're right, and just keep walking by. Mm-hmm. You know, eventually, you know, they get tired of that.
But that's hard for kids.
It is terribly hard for kids. Yeah. The other part is that because it's getting so intense when people don't stop, that they have to talk to the school. Yep. They have to talk to their parents. It's a must. Kids just can't keep holding this inside. Right. Because the consequences are horrible, and we know that already. Right. We know that.
There's a big difference between being a narc and defending yourself in the way you have to.
And I mean, I grew up the same way. You know, if I would have gone home and said to my dad, "Hey, this guy's picking on me," he would have said, "Knock him on his ass." You know,
that's right.
What's your problem? You know, but you know, we're not into that anymore. Right. And we shouldn't be into it anymore. Right. You know, people should have the right just to be who they are, go to school, enjoy it, but there's a whole psychology behind bullies, and there's a socioeconomic thing too. You know, if you look at kids who are wealthier, their means of bullying are different than kids who are poorer. Yeah. And I mean, there's a whole psychology to this whole thing.
The idea is just be nice, don't bully people.
Exactly.
And if you are getting bullied, give him a call, talk to a counselor, talk to a family member. So don't think it's something shameful. Right. If you're the recipient of that kind of stuff, say something. Yeah. Be active and get the point across. Now let's talk a little bit about the center. You've been up here since the spring.
We moved up here December 1st.
December. Well, it's the spring now, isn't it? Good, Andy. So you've been here since the winter. Yes. Everything in the place looks great. I mean, you've got a little art for sale on the wall in here. Mm-hmm. You do the game night for people.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday. So there's... Now, are you looking for a hand to keep the place running?
Well, yeah. We exist totally on donations.
Sure.
we've tried to write grants, but most of the, in fact, all of the companies or corporations that we've written to have said, you know, you're doing good stuff, you're doing things that nobody else is doing, but you haven't been around long enough for us to invest in.
Yeah.
So we exist every single day by donation, and I get tired of asking people for money because I'm always begging for something. If it's not money, it's things for Saturday, you know, because we feed the kids, and I think that's an important thing to do because some of those kids, that's their meal for the day.
That's it.
When they eat here.
Yeah.
And I just think that's really important that we do that.
You're also hosting groups. You do an AA group.
AA.
You've got a group for young mothers that are just found themselves recently pregnant. Yeah. What else do you got going up here?
We have a recovery group that meets. It's I think 24-week course that meets. We have grief and loss for anybody who's suffered, you know, a loss of a loved one or something. We're starting an aging group next month, once a month.
He looks at me. I'm timeless, man. I'm staying 29 forever.
That's right. So we have a lot of different programs, and the center it seems like it's open nonstop.
Yeah.
But I think we're doing good things here, but we're always cognizant of the fact that we're like, you know, one donation away from putting the closed sign up.
You got to put, I mean, you got to keep the lights on.
Yeah,
absolutely. So can
that's
people stop in? Is there a way if they wanted to donate? Can they do it online?
They can do it online. They can do it PayPal. They can send a check. They can come in here and make a donation. So
whatever it takes. Every little bit helps.
Everything does.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's the center up in North Muskegon. The big push right now is anti-bullying, teen suicide prevention, and of course everything we just talked about here. You do great work, Robert. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. If you want to know more, follow along on the blog here, and we'll link you right up to the center. It's on Facebook. Follow them and help out if you can. Bob, thanks again.
Thank you.